Hey there, I'm Keith with the Trombone Shop at Schmidt Music, back with another accessory review for you. And today I have the latest case offering from Protec, in particular their PB325 screw bell, cut bell, tenor trombone case here. So we understand in our world, the cut bell, screw bell designs have been over the last, especially 10 years or so, they've become a mainstay, to the point where really every major manufacturer and custom manufacturer are offering the screw bell, cut bell designs as an option. We've talked in the past a lot about why I think that is, the benefits it's given, but of course it means that for all of these instruments with these removable bell flares, having case options is really, really helpful. Now, up to this point, for the most part, the case options that have been out there have been from our custom makers, from our Marcus Bonus, from our Bags of Spain, etc. They're wonderful, wonderful cases, but they are investments, right? And so honestly, I've been kind of waiting for quite a while for Protec to develop a case design here. And when I heard at TMEA that they were going to be launching this case, that was the first place I went to try to grab a quick video with it, as you may have seen here. But obviously, when we got these cases into the shop, I wanted to do a more in-depth look here. So I'm going to go through, we're going to take a look at the case design, kind of go through everything here, and then I'll talk about my final thoughts with it. All right, so here we have got the PB325 case. So you can see, first off, kind of overall design is obviously very reminiscent of some of the other cut bell designs that we have seen here. And, as much as possible is trying to take advantage of the size, constrictions that we can take advantage of with the cut bell design here. So, exterior here is typical Protec design here. So they're using their nylon Cordura style fabric here, tear resistant, tends to hold up really well. The case, it is a hard shell case. They don't say specifically in all of their materials. If I had to guess, I think we're looking at probably a hard foam, interior protection. Some of their other cases, like the PB306, 309, the Tenor cases, are using a wood shell. Here, it feels like a hard foam. I'm not really that upset about it, to be honest. When we see damage happening to an instrument when it's inside the case, it's rarely from the case itself, especially with any kind of hard case. It's rarely from the case itself becoming damaged, and it's a lot more from the instrument moving, shifting around inside the case here. Obviously, we'll see what's going on with that. So, like we see with a lot of Protec cases, they spent a lot of time thinking about, how much room you have inside all of the storage here, right? So we have a huge external pocket right here. So this is not only, is this whole space, the pocket here, but it is gusseted. In other words, you can go through and you can unzip this gusset, and now it becomes even taller here, right? And so what that means for us is that when we unzip this, we have a ton of room inside. So it comes with, again, typical Protec kind of setup here, where you've got, you've got your shoulder strap here, and really nice name tag, all of those accoutrements, and we have this really nice storage pouch here. So you've got a place for your pencils, some of your oils, all of that kind of stuff. The pocket is big enough where you can very easily hold a trombone stand inside of it. We take that, zip it up. There is a ton of room for that. So I think that's a really nice addition to the design here. Again, very thoughtful on their part. So on the bottom here, and on the bottom there, we've got nice rubber feet, kind of keep it off of the material itself, whether you're standing it upright. To that point, it does come with a really nice subway strap here. So that way, if you're holding it upright, you've got a nice strap there, and you've got the feet all the way around. As I mentioned, it comes with nice hardware for a shoulder strap, and if you are so inclined, it is usable with their backpack system as well. That system runs usually average $20 right now, and clips into here, and so that way you can easily turn it into a backpack system as well. All right, so let's take a look at the interior here. So first off, like really all of the other Protec cases, we're using really nice heavy-duty zippers to hold everything close here. And when we open everything up here, we can see that Protec is really utilizing, an idea that they have borrowed from some other makers as far as using kind of the right amount of padding in the right place to really kind of try to suspend the instrument, within the case as much as possible to try to prevent that moving around that we talked about that oftentimes causes a lot of the damage here. So to kind of take a look through everything here. So first off, we have got our holder for the bell flare right here, right? So our bell flare will fit inside of here. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And then underneath this protective flap here where the bell, stem section is going to go, we have our hand slide compartment sitting underneath here. Now, I kind of like this design. There's a number of other cut bell designs out there where the hand slide goes in the top of the case, and obviously then everything comes down here, and which is fine, that works. The only problem we've experienced is if somebody is not careful, getting the hand slide really secured in the top of the case, if they put it incorrectly, or where like things are just in the wrong place, or if it moves around there accidentally, when the top comes down and interacts with the bell flare section, ideally there shouldn't be any contact, but we've seen that happen, right? So there is something about this where I like where the hand slide really is completely separated from everything else. So hand slide goes underneath here, which again we'll take a look at, and I do like that we've got a nice little pouch here for an extra lead pipe, thoughtful, okay. So then in the top here, we've got some movable foam pads. So that way, again, you can kind of custom fit them to your individual bell section to make sure nothing is moving around on us. Again, we'll take a look at that in a second. And then in the top here, we've got this really nice padded dome. So that way, when we put our bell flare inside of here, dome will close down on top of it. We don't have any movement here. And then we've got another movable pad here, which will of course help to clamp the bell section down here. And we've got a really nice Velcro storage compartment here, storage pouch for whatever you might need it for here as well, right? The whole thing, of course, is done in a really nice kind of like full velvet interior here. Everything is really nice and soft, and again, all of the padding and everything is really designed to try to minimize, prevent any kind of movement happening here. So let's take a look and see how an instrument actually fits inside here. Here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to be using one of the Yamaha 8820D large bore tenor trombones with cut bell. This will fit. I've tested it with small bores, with a variety of large bores. Everything fits really nicely. It will fit, and we'll take a look here. The bell flare section will fit at minimum, like an 8.5 to 8.5 inches bell flare, which is going to accommodate really all of our modern large bore tenor bell setups here. So we're going to take this put aside for a second, and the hand slide again fits right down inside of here. Okay, so as you can maybe see here, the fit is really nice. There's a little bit of sideways movement side to side. There's not much. And there's also, a little bit of lateral movement there, but again, it's not extreme. And it's enough where I think it's going to really work with a wide variety of designs. So whether your hand slide is wider or narrower, I think it's going to fit that pretty well. And again, same thing. If it's a little longer, shorter in comparison to how wide the crook is, I think it's going to fit all of that really nicely. If I were flying with this case, for example, I'd probably do a little bit of extra padding with this hand slide just to make sure that it's not moving around. But really, that movement is pretty minimal, right? So hand slide fits down there. This comes down on top. Okay, and then we'll grab our bell section. Okay, perfect. So we've got our bell flare cup there. So I'm going to take my bell flare off. I'm going to set that aside for a second. Okay. So the bell section, bell stem section, valve section, fits down right there like so. So now you might have noticed, like I said, we have these blocks right here, so we can really kind of custom fit the set and the fit to the individual design here. Now, one of the concerns sometimes we have with cases is how are they going to work with the F attachment tubing? In particular, when we have some of our longer setups, i.e., Yamaha, some of the concepts, especially the box, right? We're known for we have these really long, relatively narrow, F tuning slide wraps here. So the really nice thing about this case is there's plenty of room for that. But of course, if we have a wider, more compact F attachment tubing set up here, obviously it's going to fit that really well. That's one of the things where when I've seen this set up with other folks here, we've got this nice, storage compartment here. In this case, a lot of times that will fit right there if we have one of these narrower sections where we're not taking up so much room. In this particular case, I probably wouldn't leave this here. For the most part, I'd worry about it impacting it. So with this particular design, may or may not be able to use this, but with a lot of our other more common designs, our Minix style wraps, etc., this will be able to fit right there just like so. And then, of course, our bell flare fits in there. So you can see right now that there's still a little bit of room. And the fit is really pretty nice. So again, if you have a smaller tenor, if you're looking at a small bore tenor with like an 8-inch bell, I think it's still going to fit in there really comfortably. I'm not going to worry about there being too much room. And then everything fits in here. I forgot to mention we've got two nice mouthpiece storage compartments that sit right here. Obviously, they're not going to impact anything. Nice little touch. And so everything fits in there just like so. And then obviously, it closes up just like so. So again, I think, like I said, there isn't a whole lot I don't like about the design here. I think it's really well thought out. When I'm looking at a case design, again, I'm thinking about how am I eliminating movement of the instrument side of the case, how am I preventing any impact of one component of the instrument interacting with another. And I think they've done a really, really nice job of separating everything. I think it's fairly user-friendly. And again, I think it does a nice job of kind of trying to utilize the compact nature, the possibilities of the cut bell kind of setup in a really unique way. All right, so my final thought with this case, I really like it, right? There are very few things that Protec has done that I don't like. I think they're really thoughtful, intentional as a company, and whenever they make changes, whenever they introduce a new case, a new accessory, whatever, it seems to be really well thought out. They're kind of taking everything into consideration, and kind of like I said, there's not a whole lot with this case that I don't like. I think it's designed to be incredibly versatile. It's going to work with a wide variety of different small bore tenor, medium, large bore tenor designs. It's got a lot of storage built into it. It's got the Protec protection with it, and just the durability. One of the things I like about Protec is everything that they make is really well made. I rarely hear feedback from customers saying, "Oh, I had my Velcro fell apart after 3 months," or "I'm having trouble with my zippers." Does it happen occasionally? Sure, it happens to everybody, but I hear it as infrequently from Protec as I do from anybody else. And again, price point wise, honestly, we're looking at close to half the price of a lot of the other options out there. And that's not to say the Marcus Bonas and the Bates of Spain and all the other ones out there, they're fantastic. But for somebody who's looking for a really great option at a little bit different price point, I think there are a ton of really great upsides to this particular case. So if you have any thoughts, questions about the PB325 screw bell case, maybe you already have one and have experience with it, maybe you have a screw bell, cut bell instrument that you have questions about how it would fit with the instrument, please feel free to leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as a part of our community. And of course, you can find the Trombone Shop on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, have a great day.